guys should be able to hear me, see me. Hey guys, I'm so excited to do today's live stream, today's lunch and learn. First of all, I'm so sorry that I'm late. Honestly, full disclosure, I got really, like my stomach started growling right before it was time for me to come on live. So I just decided to eat some pretzels. And then while I was eating the pretzels, I'm trying to come live and Zoom kept kicking me out. So hopefully we're able to get through this today. I'm going to share and invite some people to come on over and join me here. If you're on the replay, definitely put your name below so I can say thank you. Well, not put your name below because obviously I know your name, but let me know that you're on the replay below so I can say thank you for joining. Okay. I finally figured out, and we're going to be using the whiteboard today, but why I'm really excited is because I finally figured out how to position this whiteboard where I don't have that much of a glare in the board itself. So I'm going to try my best to get through this. Hey, Sina, thank you for joining. My girl, thank you. So, today we're going to be talking about, is your business built on sinking sand? Is your business built on sinking sand? How did I come up with the name? I was thinking about that hymn. You know that hymn in church, on Christ the solid rock I stand, all of the ground is sinking sand. You know that song? I just serenaded you guys, okay? So I should be seeing some hearts and some likes coming because I just gave you a serenade, okay? But I got that the title from that song because I was looking at some of you guys' responses from the questions that I put out in the group over the last few days, and I kind of chalked it up to, and actually I knew this all along, but just responding to the responses that I got, I chalked it up to a lot of people do not have a strong business foundation, a solid foundation. And because of that, there's leaks, right? So there's other parts in their business that's just not working. And this might be happening to you. So I decided that this week, and I'm going to go through a series of videos that's going to be talking about the foundation of your business, okay? So today we're going to be using the whiteboard. I'm going to be mapping some stuff out for you. The question that I asked in the group was, what do you think is really stopping you from consistently selling your services? Okay, so I want you guys to just give me some answers below. What do you think may be stopping you from consistently selling your services? You on the replay, same thing. Let me know below. What do you think is stopping you from consistently selling your services? Another question I asked you guys was, what type of objections do you get when you're selling your services, right? So when you're giving the offer, what objections are you getting from people? And some of you guys responded to me. You said that people say they can't afford you. You said that people say they don't have time. You said that you don't feel that you're getting enough leads. And even if you are getting leads, it's not the right leads. Another person responded and said they don't even know how to begin the sales process, right? So they can start selling their services. So from just listening to your responses, I'm like, I think that this series that I'm going to do here, these series of videos that I put together, is going to be really, really important for you guys and give you some clarity on how this whole service industry works and what you should be paying attention to, okay? So I'm going to, and you guys could just let me know if you can see well. I'm going to just raise this up a little bit so you guys can get a better view. See, doesn't that work better? Because remember when I used the light, it would give, now we only have just a glare right here. So I think this angle is the angle that I'm going to go with. Sina said, over the years, I've attracted all different kinds of people by not being specific on my messaging. And at times it feels like my target audience isn't there to respond to my new messaging and marketing. That is a very good insight. This is something that you and I have spoken about in length. And of course, messaging is really important. I know for me, because I came from the network marketing industry, I had like a lot of network marketers that was in my audience when I first started my coaching business. I also had a lot of people who were beauty clients, because many of you know that before I became a coach, I was a hair salon owner. So a lot of my followers were clients in the beauty industry, colleagues in the beauty industry, and then the network marketing industry from being in all those different network marketing companies. So I kind of had to start from scratch. And then the next thing is, once I started growing my audience and I started going through me growing as a coach and me really narrowing down, you know, what I want to do, what I want to specialize in, who I want my specific client to be, every single year, it was different. Okay, so every single year I became more clear. My messaging became more focused, right, on the problems and the desires that my ideal client has. And then it just evolves like every year. Even this year, I feel like already I've gotten clarity and the year just started, right? So that's everybody's issue, right? Okay, hey Sandy, thank you for joining, my darling. Sandy said, personally, I spend so much time chasing cash to pay the bills that it's hard to think of the bigger picture, but I'm trying to fix that now. And that's another observation. You know, like, I'm glad that you are vulnerable enough to share that, because that's another thing that I feel all coaches go through. Okay, so unless you are, you know, someone that has a 9-to-5 job and you get paid really well, you had a savings put aside for your business, you took out a business loan, maybe you took out a business credit card, unless you're in that position, then yeah, right, you're focused on how am I going to pay the bills, right? So hopefully this will give you guys some clarity. Matter of fact, not hopefully, it is going to give you some clarity. So stick around. If you know anybody who's in the group who should be watching this, definitely tag them. If you have any questions or comments or anything while I'm going through this content, definitely, you know, post it below. I'm gonna really show you this big picture, and then over the next 3 days or so, don't quote me, because you know that episode 3 for the show is on Thursday night. So I got other things going on, but I'm gonna try my best to do these 3 parts this week and break down the whole process for you. Okay. All right. And another thing, if you're watching this somewhere else other than the Business Law for Coaches, I would love to invite you to my Facebook group. It's where I do videos just like this, where I teach my audience and you'll get valuable information. So if you're a coach or a service professional, definitely join us in the Business Law for Coaches on Facebook, okay? My name is Neala Phillip, the Master Midwife, and I work with coaches. I help them find and market their unique message. And I am a person that focuses on systems, strategic marketing strategies, and I like to make sure that when I'm helping my clients, I'm giving them strategies that fits their lifestyle, their goals, and that will allow them to reach results in the fastest way possible. So I'm not really the coach that will tell you, that will kind of jump on the bandwagon of everything that you're hearing. So just to give you an example, sales funnels is really big right now because everyone is dreaming of having passive income. Everyone is dreaming of being able to make money in their sleep. It's very big. I have sales funnels in my business. However, it's not something that I focus on with people who are not already generating more than 5 figures a month in their business, because there's a process, type process below. There's a process for everything that we do in our business. And there's some things that you have to, it's like, what's the saying? You have to creep before you walk, right? I think what happens with a lot of us is we get so excited about starting this business that we come online and we see people teaching us these strategies. I know this is what happened to me. And I'm like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this. But when we get into it and we start implementing, we realize there's a whole lot more that goes to just implementing this strategy. So I believe on giving you simple strategies so you can see results. When you start seeing results, then you start to diversify your different marketing strategies and client retention process and all that good stuff, okay? All right, so let's jump in. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, I got Sandra. Who else? Hey, Andrea. Thank you for joining. I know you're at work, so you probably won't be able to type back, but thank you for joining. All right, so let's get into this. I want to first touch on the response that I got from one of our group members who said, I don't know how to start the sales process. Under the question that I asked, how, you know, what's stopping you from consistently selling out your services, okay? So I'm gonna start there because I truly believe, let's see if I got that good, okay. Because I truly believe that you can't get the sale if you don't know how to first captures people's attention. Okay, so a lot of people focus on how can I increase my sales, right? But you cannot increase your sales if you first don't know how to attract the right clients, take them through a process where they go from being interested to becoming a lead to becoming a prospect. Okay, so being interested to becoming a lead to becoming a prospect. Once a person becomes a prospect, and don't worry, I'm going to explain all of these terms to you as we break this stuff down. But once a person becomes a prospect, then the sales process starts. So I'm going to start there because the first thing is there is a difference between marketing and sales. And there are different processes that a client has to go through from beginning to end, okay? So first thing you got to know is there's a marketing process, okay? So we're going to write down marketing process, okay? The next thing you need to know is after a person leaves the marketing process, they go through a sales cycle, okay? And I'm going to explain all of this to you, okay? So the next one is a sales cycle, okay? And then the last step that a person goes through, and again, if you guys are not seeing this properly or anything, or you have questions or anything, just let me know below, okay? The third step, once you get the sale and a person becomes a client, is what I call the client's journey, okay? So we're gonna write that down. Okay, so we have the marketing process, the sales cycle, and the client's journey. I hope you guys are taking notes, okay? So number one, the marketing process is the process from a person going from interested to a lead to a prospect, okay? From interested to a lead to a prospect. And I'm gonna break that down. When it comes to the sales cycle, a person is going from being a prospect to being a client. Okay, this is the process of how do I take them from being a prospect to actually paying me and joining whatever it is that I'm offering them. And then in the client's journey, you're going from being a client to a collaborative partner, okay? So client to a collaborative partner, okay? Are you guys following me so far? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you guys are following me so far, okay? So I'm gonna recap again for those of you who are now coming. So the first one is your marketing process, okay? Your marketing process takes people from interested to becoming a lead to becoming a prospect, okay? The next one is your sales cycle. So that takes people from being a prospect to signing up and becoming your client, okay? And don't get overwhelmed with all of this because as I start to break it down, you'll start to understand, okay? And then the client's journey is them going from being a client to becoming a collaborative partner, okay? So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you what comes under each, okay? And then we're gonna break down the marketing process today, okay? When I come back, we'll break down the sales cycle, and then when I come back the third time, we'll break down the client's journey, okay? So that way you guys can truly, truly, truly understand what it is you're supposed to be doing, okay? So, marketing process first. In order, and this one, you guys who've been following me for a long time, you've heard this many times, okay? In order to get someone through a marketing process, there's 3 steps. Ready? I call this the see the cash system. How many of you guys remember that? So ready? So captivate, cultivate, convert. Okay? So in the marketing process, there's 3 things you have to do. You have to be able to captivate people. That's attract. Attract the right people, okay? The second thing you need to do is cultivate. That's nurture. So once you attract the right people, you have to nurture them, okay? And I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you how you do that, okay? And then after you nurture them, you have to convert them into a prospect, okay? And the way you convert them is really a call to action, inviting them to have an appointment with you, okay? All right, so inviting them to say, you know, thanks, you know, you've been supporting me for so long. You've been showing up on my webinars. You've been showing up on my live streams. You know, today I'm opening my program, looking for 10 people who may be interested. And then all of a sudden, people become a prospect for you, okay? And there's a process in this step. And I want to make sure I keep saying that word process, because I think a lot of times we watch coaches and we see this stuff and we're like, oh, it's just going to be, I'm going to just go and implement. It's just going to be easy. But without knowing the complete process, you won't be able to take specific action. So that's one of the reasons why you guys see that when I teach, a lot of times I like to do these whiteboard lessons, because I think that you need to know the concept behind what you're doing, the concept behind marketing, the concept behind sales, because when you understand it, you can take specific action, you can put your personality into it, and you can make these processes yours, okay? So again, if you have any questions or anything, just leave it below so I can say what up. Yes, girl, I'm breaking it down. Hey, Renata, I hope I said that right. I'm glad that you're enjoying this. Okay, so, all right, so let's keep going. So we have captivate, we have to attract our people, right? Cultivate, we have to nurture them, and we'll break this down further. And then convert means we have to take them from they're a lead, they love us, they're here watching us on a live stream, and now they're going to become a prospect because they're interested and they want to book an appointment with us. Okay, so let's talk about what's under here. So they become a prospect, right? The next step is an appointment. Okay, so they get on an appointment with you. This is important, okay? There's too many people, and I was so, what's the right word? I really struggled with this too, so I know that you guys are struggling with this. You want to be able to just put your social media posts out, put your call to action out, put up a sales page, and you want people to press the button and pay you. But I promise you that if you are not earning 5 figures a month or more in your business yet, meaning you are signing 3 to 5 clients consistently every single month, you need to learn this process. You need to learn how to get on the phone, talk to people about what they're going through, give an offer, and sign them into your program. This is going to be key for you. But you can't do this if you can't do this. Get it? This comes first. Okay, is this making sense for you guys? All right, let me see what happened here. My screen went away. I can't see my comment. Okay. Hey, Patricia, my darling, how are you? All right, so first you have your appointment, right? Then you have to qualify. Okay? All right, and again, we're going to be breaking these stuff down tomorrow, so don't expect me to break all of it down for you today. It will take us forever, okay? After you qualify, you have to present. This is your presentation. Okay? After you present your presentation, if you do your presentation right, then you will not have objections. But if you do get objections, the most objections you would probably be hearing right now is what you guys said: I can't afford you, or I don't have the time. Okay, that's the main 2 objections that we get. And all of those objections, you get less objections when you learn how to present better. Okay, but the objections are very common, so don't think you're alone there. Okay, so after you present, you go through objections. All right, so whatever objections they may have to joining your program, okay? After the objections, you get the sale, okay? And then the last step after you get the sale is you ask for a referral. Okay, hope I spelled that right. If you guys don't get in the habit of knowing these things, you will never know how can I make this predictable. And I think that that's like the key here. How can I do this every single month so my income can grow every single month? If you don't have a predictable process, you won't have predictable profit. Somebody write that. Oh, Cena, write that down. That was a tweeted moment. Right? So if you don't have a predictable process, you won't have predictable profit. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys understand today by breaking this stuff down for you, okay? So after somebody becomes a client, the next thing is, where do you take them here? Okay, what's the next step once they become a client? So the first step is onboarding. Okay, and again, we'll break that down in the third lesson. So the first step is onboarding. Are you guys seeing this? Let me know if you guys are seeing this well. Are you guys seeing that, or is the sideways not good? I want you guys to be able to see it well. Okay, all right, let me continue. So the first step is onboarding. The second step is to deliver your program. So deliver the services. Okay. The third step is client retention. Okay. This is another thing that people don't think about. How are you keeping clients? Okay. Are you taking them to other programs? How are you keeping clients? How are you turning clients into advocates of your brand, into partners of your brand, right? Into your partners. Okay. So the next step is client retention. Okay, and then the last step is collaborative partner, all right? Okay, so this is a complete map of what a service-based business will look like when it comes to the activities that's happening in your business to get clients, to increase your clientele. Okay, so again, we have the marketing process, which takes people from interested to a prospect. We have the sales cycle, which takes people from being a prospect to a client, right? And then you have the client's journey, which takes people from becoming a client to becoming one of your collaborative partners, okay? So sticking on that for a minute as a coach, and this is something that I'm very focused on this year. As a coach, right, when you have clients, like let's say you're a health coach or something, right? And you have these clients and they have wonderful results and they change their life and their health journey becomes a lifestyle change for them. And maybe they start doing their little videos showing people of their journey and stuff. Listen, you're supposed to become collaborative partners for them. This is how you really start to grow exponentially and really step into that leadership role. So I'm so happy that I'm getting to do this. All right, so what we're going to do again, for those of you who are now joining, is we're going to break down this marketing process today. When I come back, we'll break down the sales cycle. And then when I come back again, we'll break down the client's journey. All right, so I'm going to erase this and then we're going to jump in. You guys good? Let me make sure I see that we're good. Okay, we're good. All right, perfect. All right. Okay, so hopefully I did that good enough so we can get started. So today we're breaking down the marketing process. How do you take people from being interested to becoming a prospect of yours, okay? So I'm just gonna write up here, marketing process, okay? And like we said, there's 3 steps. So we have captivate, cultivate, and convert. All right, so let's talk about captivate first. All right, captivate is exactly what it sounds like. Being able to get someone's attention, being able to attract the right people. A lot of you are attracting people, but not attracting the right people. So just like what Sina said, right? So as I tighten up, I feel like I don't have the right people there. All right, so let's talk about that first. We'll talk about what it means to captivate an audience, and then we'll talk about the different ways that you captivate an audience, okay? So what it means to captivate an audience is getting people's attention, but in order to get people's attention, you have to know who you're speaking to. So these are the foundations, guys. The reason why you get in the wrong lead is because your messaging is not speaking to the right people. The reason why you're not reaching enough people is because you're not being consistent enough with the right messaging. And the reason why you're not converting people is because you're not asking them for what you want. It's really that simple, okay? So in order to captivate an audience, you got to know who you are speaking to. You have to know what you are selling to them. All right, because I truly believe that everything starts with what you're selling. If I am selling I'm always picking the most strippity things. I have this duster, spray duster thing that I use for my computer. So let's say I'm trying to sell this. I'm just going to use this anyway. Let's say I'm trying to sell this. By knowing what I'm selling, I will be able to know who will best use this. Okay, so maybe who will best use this is someone who runs an office. Okay, and what are the problems that they're having, why they would need this? Their computer is dusty, the air allergens in the air, and all that stuff. Again, I'm really making up something simple, but you want to know who am I speaking to and what am I selling so you can know how I'm going to captivate these people. Because at the end of the day, if people aren't paying attention, it's because you're not putting anything out for them to pay attention to. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? In order for me to attract coaches who's looking to be able to sign clients consistently, I have to make sure that when I put myself out there, I am talking about the problems that these coaches are having and the desires, what these coaches want. How can I do that if I don't know who they are? Okay, now let's be real. If you're just starting out in the industry, you're not going to be 100% clear on who they are, but you will be clear on who best needs your product when you know what you sell. Put number 1 below if you understand me. So you might not be clear on who your ideal client is yet, because in my opinion, you won't get clear on who that dream client is until you actually start working with clients, okay? So people tell you, oh, know who you're talking to. It just doesn't work that way. However, when you know what you're selling, then you know what the problems, what problems those people who best need this service are facing. Make sense? Is that making sense for you? Okay, good. All right, so in order to captivate, the first thing you need is clear messaging to the right people, right? So clear messaging to the right people. All right, clear messaging to the right people. All right, so who's my client? What am I selling to her? And what is the problem that she's facing? Why she's going to want this product, this service right now? Once I know this, the next step comes, which is I have to cultivate them, right? And once you start cultivating them, then you put yourself in a position to ask for the conversion. But before I continue to break this down, I want to show you something that's popping in my head now. Watch this. When you start to put content out, because that's really what it is, content, okay? So you put out content, and the content is what attracts people, okay? So if you're a podiatrist, the only people who's gonna look at your content about feet is people who have a problem with feet, okay, right? So if you put out the right content, then that's how you're gonna attract people, right? But listen to this. When you start, this goes back to what Sina said. When you start putting out your content, you get a bunch of people who's suffering with that problem. And they go right here, right? So all the people from the content comes in this square right here. And then as you start cultivating Let me tell you what cultivation is for me. It's consistency, period. As long as you're consistent with content, you cultivate relationships with the people in your tribe. So, for example, let's say my Instagram page, right? I'm putting out content on Instagram every day, right? And I'm saying, if you like this content and you want to see more of this, come on over into my Facebook group. So what happens is somebody sees a post, it speaks to them, they click the button, they come on into the Facebook group, into this box. Okay, I hope you guys are listening. They come into this box. But then what happens is, as I continue to show up every day and I continue to be consistent so I can cultivate the relationships and have them get to know, like, and trust me, right? What happens is some people don't like me. Some people listen and they're like, oh, Neon was loud, I'm out. Oh, she doesn't speak the way I like her to speak. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I don't, some people, not everybody that comes in the box is my client. You understand? So as you cultivate, more people come here and they become a lead. Okay? I hope you were listening. So more people from cultivating, they come in the audience. Let's write this, audience. Okay? So from you putting out content, they get captivated, they come into the audience. You stay consistent. They're listening to you, right? They're not really feeling you. But the people who do feel you, they start to become leads. See how the box gets smaller? That's the reason why you can have 2,000 people in a group, but only have about 100 that buy. Make sense? So they come into the audience. You stay consistent. The people who's loving it, who's taking action, who's liking you, when you give that call to action and say, join my training or join my webinar or download this checklist, guess what happens? They become a lead. Okay? All right? And again, you stay consistent, right? And then you give a call to action and you say, if you love this training, like right now, let's use this as an example. I'm here, I'm teaching you guys. If you love this training, and this is what you're looking for, as you listen to me, you're like, this is my style of coach, this is my style of teaching, this is my style of learning, I've been watching Neola, I'm loving what she's doing, and I say to you, if you want help, like right now, I have 2 openings that's opening for Market Your Message for February. If you want help, then consider booking an appointment with me so we can talk about how we can get you set up like this. Okay? Now, if you're listening to me and you're like, yes, that's what I need, guess what you become? A prospect. Make sense? Give me a 2 in the chat box if that makes sense. Okay? So you put out content, you build your audience, because obviously people watch. That's the reason why sometimes you see your video might have 300 views, but only 5 people shared it. Your video might have 500 views, but only 46 comments. Why? Because there's a difference between an audience, a lead, and a prospect. Okay? So they come into your audience. You stay consistent and cultivate. They become a lead. You give them that invitation to get on the phone with you so you can help them further. They become a prospect. Okay? All right. So let's go keep going. All right, so that was just my little side note. Because as I was thinking, I'm like, it's better that you see how it trickles down. So that way, some of you who get worried that you have so many people watching your stuff, but they're not really taking action, don't be paying attention to that. Pay attention to making sure that what you put out is valuable and that you consistently ask them, give them an invitation. You consistently ask people, do you want to have a conversation on how I can help you? If you stay consistent with that, people will trickle down that little funnel and the right prospect will come out on the other end. What happens is a lot of people get started, and when you're not seeing the response, you stop. But the cultivation is really important. As a matter of fact, on my notes, I wrote down, what did I write here? Cultivate equals consistency. There's nothing special in cultivating besides being consistent, because when people see that you're showing up and you're teaching them all the time and you're dropping nuggets and you're taking people on the journey with you, they're like, they fall in love with you. They fall in love with you. So even if they're not ready for you now, when they are ready, you're the front of the mind. Okay? You're the person who they're like, yes, I'm ready to go. Okay, and this is another reason why when I talk to my clients, I always talk to them about, like when we did Plan to Profit. For those of you who are new, don't know what I'm talking about, Plan to Profit is something that I do every December. And when I did Plan to Profit, I spoke to you guys about creating little stuff every month to kind of cultivate and bring people in. You cannot expect people to just drop $1,000, drop $5,000, all of this, and you haven't built nothing yet. You haven't proven that you know what you're talking about. You haven't proven that I should give you my money. Are you guys paying? I mean, I know I'm getting a little bit, this is me, okay? You have to, you can't, if you're not gonna put in the time to prove yourself, don't expect people to buy. And even if they do buy, it's not gonna be consistent. It's not gonna be predictable. So it's very important to not even think about the sales cycle until you understand how to get prospects. How do I get people to the point where they want to get on the phone with me and discuss their next steps? And that comes from putting out the right content consistently. Write that down in your notebook. Putting out the right content consistently. There's no right, or maybe I shouldn't even say right, because, well, you know what? Yeah, there is a right and a wrong content. Don't put out anything that people don't find interesting. If I'm trying to grow my business, I want to hear how I grow my business. If I want to lose my belly, I want to get content that's going to tell me how to lose my belly. What are the right foods to eat? What are the foods not to eat? When should I stop eating at nighttime? What's the right exercises to do? That's the information that's going to attract the people who best fits the service that you provide. If you're not going to do that, then how I know what you're going to give me in your coaching program? Does this make sense? Yeah. Okay, so content. We're going to talk about this because what I feel is that, and just from the questions that I got from people about the challenge that we're going to be doing next week, I could tell that many of you don't know your deliverables. So you don't know what type of content am I going to focus on? So you're trying to do it all. So for example, you want to do webinars, you want to do a podcast, you want to have your social media posts scheduled for every week. You want to do these interviews. These are all the different ways that you could put yourself out there, and you want to do it all, but that's not what I recommend. The reason why you're overwhelmed and not seeing results is because you are not sticking to one thing that works for you so you can become a master at it. So many of you who know me know that I'm all about presentations. I'm all about this type of stuff, value, high value content, whether it's giving a presentation on a webinar, giving a presentation on a stage live, whether it's my own event or somebody else's event, and doing live streams, giving high value content. Because when I come here and I teach this, what I am actively doing is showing you that I know my stuff. Does that make sense? So you don't have to have a question of, does she know her stuff? Can she help me? Another thing that I'm doing right now is I'm actively telling you who I work with by the content I'm sharing. Obviously, I don't work with network marketers because I'm not up here teaching you network marketing. Obviously, I don't work with e-commerce store owners because I am not up here teaching you how to build an e-commerce store. Obviously, I work with service professionals because everything that I teach you guys is geared to service professionals. Do you see how you answer questions without really answering when you put the right content out? People know that you're speaking to them when the content you're sharing is helping them do something. And it doesn't have to be like rocket science, right? So one of the things you could do, just to give you a little tip, if you're really stuck at how do I even start with this, is ask questions. Ask questions. Whatever service professional you are, ask questions. What are you guys struggling with? When you try to do your website, what's going through your head? What fears are you having with your website? When you are trying to lose weight, what are you struggling with? What diets have you tried? Because guess what? The answers that you get is going to be the content you create. Make sense? If I'm a health coach and I ask a question, what diets have you tried? And all of you start writing your diets, and then I come back and I say, well, tell me the pros and the cons. Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? How did you feel as you was going through it? And then you come back and you give me all those answers, and then I come back next week and I do a live stream where I talk about why your diets don't work. And I come and I break down all the reasons why your diets won't work, and this is what you really should be doing if you wanted to help. And if you want me to help you, what do? Get on the call so we can talk about it. Ding, 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 somebody becomes a prospect. That making sense to you guys? Right? Now somebody becomes a prospect. Why? Because you are consistently putting out the right content. Everybody's different. Some people make on the spur purchases. I had one lady who saw me on Instagram. She told me she spent all night watching my videos, and then she booked an appointment. 2 days later, we were on the phone. The same time we were on the phone, she joined the Market Your Message program. She did not know me more than 2 weeks. But then there's another lady who was following me for over a year before she bought a digital product. Then she bought the digital product and she joined a smaller program. And then now, a few years later, she joined the Market Your Message program. So understand that everybody's different. Don't worry about what they doing. You stay consistent. Because if you stay consistent with giving the right content and you stay consistent with giving the invitation to work with you, they're going to come. And again, I'm going to break down the sales process tomorrow. So you're going to learn once they book an appointment, how do you qualify? What do you do? You'll learn that tomorrow. Today is all about how do I get them from interested to becoming a prospect? How do you get them interested? By putting out the right content, right? So let's talk about content. For me, my preferred content, again, is presentations, okay? And what I teach my client is borrow other people's audiences. Okay, because for me, it took me a very long time to grow my audience, and I still don't have a huge audience. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I teach you guys how to borrow other people's audiences. For example, if you want to give a speaking presentation, get on somebody else's event, boom, you take the trouble out of putting an event together. If you want to do a live stream, but you don't have an audience yet, come and write me. Write other people who have an audience. Say, listen, I have this presentation that I do that gives this amount of value. Would your people be interested? Come on, right? If you're doing webinars, instead of you trying to hustle, bustle to fill up the webinar, get with somebody who has an audience, do a collaborative webinar. Come on, guys. Come on, right? So presentations for me work, and the reason why it works is because for me, with the way I structure presentations, I'm able to tell my story, which helps them get to know more about me. I'm able to give my content, which proves my expertise, and I'm able to give an offer for them to get on the phone with me all in one shot. That's why I love presentations, right? So there are other ways though, and I don't want to leave you hanging, because this is the part that a lot of coaches won't tell you. They just if one coach is a podcast expert, they come out and podcast is the way, podcast is the way, podcast is the way. But the truth is there are many ways. What you need to do is figure out, do I have a job? Am I a wife? Do I have kids? What can I do? Can I run a podcast realistically and put the time into it? Or should I be speaking? Do I have time to write a blog every week? Or should I be shooting a live video? Come on. Because there are many ways. Just choose one and master it. As you start to get clients, then like what I do with my clients is once you start getting clients, then I show you how do you diversify it? How do you automate some things? How do you start to put your money to grow the business? Right now, you need to be focused on getting the clients, okay? So content, for me, is presentation, okay? You got blogging. You got video marketing, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're doing live streams, whether you're doing recorded videos, whether you're doing 15-second buying video. Well, do they have buying still? But you know what I'm talking about, the memes, like those memes, like what I did today. I did my own today for the Lunch and Learn. It was like a video that I took when I was in Trinidad, and I kind of like, did y'all see that? Anyway, I'm excited about that. I'm stepping my video game up too, okay? So, all right, so presentation, blogging, video marketing, podcasting, right? There's so many ways. So many ways. But here's my shameless plug for the day. Ready? The best and fastest way to do all three things at one time, captivate, cultivate, convert, is by hosting a virtual summit. All three at once. Okay? And with less work. Because you don't have to put together a presentation, you don't have to put together no content, because all you're doing is interviewing people and using their content to help you attract the right people, cultivate them with good content, and you give a call to action to them. Instant sales. Virtual summit is the easiest way to do all three. Okay? That's my shameless plug for the day. Now, there are certain people who don't need to be doing a summit. Okay? If you don't know who your client is and your messaging and what you're selling, don't do it. I'm not here to take your money. Don't do it. You're not ready. You got to know who you're selling, because who you're attracting, the reason why is because if you try to plan, even if you don't do summits, and you do like one of these, if you want to do podcasting, you have to know who you're speaking to so you can create the right title, the right content, the right places to share it, so that way you put it in front of the right people. So if you don't know who you are speaking to and you don't know your messaging, what you're selling to them, right? Because a summit gives you instant sales, right? However, it's not supposed to just give you that. You're supposed to take people from the summit into your coaching program. See what I'm saying? Because what this virtual summit do is it takes people from interested to leads to prospects. Make sense? Hold on. Let's see. Hey, Lysandra, thank you for joining me. Hey, Tammy, my darling, thank you for joining. Hey, Niala, break it down. I love it. I'm back on break. Got me not wanting to go back to work. Girl, you better go to work. You'll see the replay. Okay, so there's different ways, different types of content that you can put out. But, what I suggest is to choose what fits you best, your personality, your lifestyle, your goals, and stick with that one thing and do it consistently. And you have to remember, you can't just captivate people and cultivate by staying consistent, but not give them the invitation. You gotta invite them to the call. Do you understand? Like what I'm doing right now, I'm inviting you to the challenge. The link is in the title. If you want to do your own virtual summit, so you can do all three at once, then I have the challenge starting on Monday, right? Another thing is, let's say you're somebody who, listen, the challenge isn't for me. I'd rather work with a coach. I'd rather get to have that conversation with her so I can know where I'm going. Then the challenge wouldn't be for you, but you can book an appointment to speak with me. Do you see me shivering? Is the walls dropping? No. You want to know why? Because I just gave you some good content. So I'm confident. Do you see what I'm saying? When you give out good content, the fear of asking and giving an invitation goes away, because you know that you have just helped some people. And we ain't talking about helping everybody. We're talking about helping the people who's divinely aligned to be helped by you. And you won't find those people if you don't stay consistent. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't stay consistent, you won't find those people. See? So, all right. So just talking about different ways that you can put out content so you can captivate your audience, okay? When you put out this content, it's very important that you stay consistent, okay? So it's very, very important that you stay consistent. And then the last part is it's very important to ask for the invitation. Like, even if, let's try a different one. Let's say you decide to do video marketing, right? And you say, I want to do one video a week. where I share a piece of content. At the end of the video, I will ask people to drop questions if they have any, and I will use those questions to help me continue with new video topics every week. Do you know that you can literally do one video a week? At the end of the video, giving you a few tips, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, giving you a few tips, you say, if you found this useful and you're looking for someone to personally help you with this, book an appointment on my calendar. Make sure you come back for a new video next week. Bye. Every week. Every week you could do that. And then that's it. Every week. Once you start getting people on your calendar, now you take them through the sales process. And that's what we're going to break down tomorrow. Okay? If you guys have questions, let me know below. And don't forget, for those of you who are now joining me, one of the things that I asked you earlier, which I would love it if you guys could give me some more answers. I can't help you if you don't come out with stuff, right? So put it below, you know, what's been stopping you from being able to consistently sell your services? You know, is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it doubt? Is it not knowing your messaging? Is it not being able to stay consistent? You know, is it you second guessing yourself? Is it, you know, not knowing who you serve? Is it not knowing what you're selling? What is it? Because when you tell me this helps me, I'm not doing anything that I'm not telling you guys to do stuff I don't do. So when you guys answer these questions, now I'm able to come with content like this that could be more valuable to you, right? And that's the same thing that you have to do, right? Activate your confidence. Activated confidence. That's right. I share valuable content, always activate your confidence, right? And that's why I love to teach my clients how to create their systems and their processes from their own journey. Because when it's from your own journey, man, that confidence comes deep, okay? Because like when I get to talk about presentation, I'm really confident because I've been doing presentations for years. So I could talk to you from my first one, all the way up until now, me getting paid to do the same presentations on stages, right? So I could go ahead and give you my journey and teach from experience. So it's so good. That's why I always tell people, you are the missing ingredient, right, in your business. Whatever coach you are, whatever, you know, services you're providing, you are the missing ingredient. And the journey that you went on is what you're teaching. If you guys could, that's like a nugget, golden key right there. If you guys can like grasp that one and run with it, you'll go very far. You want to know why? Because less people will be talking about what you're talking about when it's coming from your own experience, and you will activate your confidence, like Andrea said. Activate your confidence. Because the reason why a lot of people struggle with being consistent with content is because there's no confidence. Very important. And then the no confidence because, you know, you're just not either confident in yourself, or you're not confident in yourself, or you're not confident in what you teach. Right? But don't worry, guys. That's why we're doing this. If you don't get the info, how are you going to fix it? So I would love it. Here's my challenge for you guys today. Number one, if you want to put on your own summit so you can start to attract the right people, cultivate them with the right content, and start making sales instantly, go to the link that's in the title and register. It's $25. You'll stay with me for 5 days next week. We'll have class every single day along with your action steps for the day, and then a bonus webinar on the Friday night. Next week, Monday through Friday, you'll be in a special group with me as we'll be going through you putting together your own virtual summit. Summits is another form of content. It's not a whole business. It's another form of content. Content is just the avenue of how you get your message, your skills, your story out to the world through content. And there's several ways that you can put together content. Summit is just a form of content. Okay, a way to captivate, cultivate, and convert. Okay, so I had put out my numbers for my summit, and I said to you guys, you know, I got a certain amount, 2,500 leads in the first 30 days, right? And then I also sold the summit as a fast action bonus. I'll teach you guys how to do that as well. So, you know, I was able to get the instant sales, but contract sales is where the real money came in. Because out of all those people, a handful of them joined my coaching program. And that is what your content is supposed to do. I mean, this same video that I'm doing right now, I can transcribe it or I can put it on YouTube, and this video can work for me for years to come, right? Because if you want to book an appointment, it's appointment.nialaphillip.com. I'm going to write it for you guys. So if you're listening to me and you're like, I like this, she's doing a challenge and everything. However, that's not for me. I'd rather just see how I can implement exactly what she's talking about. You could go ahead and book an appointment. Okay, so my signature program, Market Your Message, I have 2 spots that's opening for February. And you can become one of them if you qualify. So let me write this in appointment.nialaphillip.com. Hopefully I spelled that right. Okay, so if you want to book an appointment, you can do that as well. But this is it, guys. This is what you see. You know how I always tell you guys, for those of you who've been following me, I'll be saying, like, don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. This is what I'm doing right now. This is what you should be doing. It don't have to be a live stream, because I'm not into forcing people to live. You don't have to. But choose the form of content that best fits your lifestyle, your goals, right? And your personality, and run with it. Master it. All right? All right. So any questions or anything before I go, guys? Make sure I said hey to everybody. Yep, I think everybody. Kimberly, what's up, girlfriend? Thank you for joining. Trinette, how are you doing, my darling? Thank you for joining. All right. Okay, did I get everybody? I did. Okay. All right, so again, if you enjoyed this, make sure you come back. Turn on your notifications for the group, so that way you'll know when I'm going to do the sales cycle. Right now, I'm going to shoot to do it for tomorrow around the same time. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But we'll be breaking down the sales cycle in the next class. If you want to join the challenge, definitely join us. And if you need help, more personal help, then go to appointment.nialaphillip.com and book an appointment, and we'll be all set to go. If you're watching this somewhere else, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you come into the Business Law for Coaches. That is my Facebook group, where I give accountability, resources, and tools to the people in my group to help them grow their business, and we'll be really happy to have you, okay? All right, guys, so I'm out of here. You are very welcome, Kimberly. I'll talk to you guys later.